Hello and welcome to episode 226 of First Geek 411. Guess who forgot to tell everyone we were unmuted? I did. That's my bad. This week, we got a double feature coming in the form of two separate recordings. First off, we're going to have episode 226, where we're catching up and we're chatting about all things New Year's resolutions. Then, we're going to have a second recording of our Glass Onion Spoilercast. So if you're watching on Twitch, they're going to be back to back. If you're watching on YouTube, they are going to be separate videos. And as we go through this amazing journey, with me, as always, from the Great White North, the Hoot and How, Shanine, how are you doing?
Oh. Shanine, say something.
Doing good?
Okay. I would say we did not have audio for a second. I was like, ah.
No.
You have returned.
And then over on West Coast, Best Coast, Emma, how you doing? As you take a drink.
I should have planned better for that, but I cannot complain. Doing good. Ready for a new year.
So it's been a hot minute since we've had a time to chat. And so this week we're going to, of course, be catching up. And before we do that, as always, you can find us on our social media as OneGeek411. Join that Discord server or shoot us an email at 1stgeek411@gmail.com. You can also watch live on Twitch Monday nights at 6:45 Mountain Time, or check out the videos over on YouTube where you can like, comment, and subscribe. Then, of course, go check out that Redbubble store. So yeah, with that, it's been 2 weeks, 3 weeks since we've had time to chat. Time is a mystery and an enigma. And so, what all have we?
Wobbly.
Yeah, timey-wimey. Was it Bear Me Jeremy?
Different show.
Yeah.
But
it all works.
Same general concept.
So
Tuesdays are in the dot of the eye.
Yes. So what have we been up to? How have things been? Shanine, why don't you start us off?
All right. I've been doing good. Holidays was relaxing. Getting back to work was less so, but we're doing good. Lately, I watched The Menu. I was so excited. I've been waiting for this movie for, I don't know, it feels like a long time. Ever since Amy Carrero started sharing about it. And I was just so excited to see her. And also, I love Anya Taylor-Joy. And then it was available for free. And I'm like, yes, I'm watching it. And it was so good. And I'm obsessed. And I love it. And I'm going to be watching it again. Maybe soon.
How scary is it?
I don't think I would even classify it as a horror. Like, kind of slashery, I guess, but not. I don't know. I think it's more like disturbing than like scary.
Okay. That was kind of like I've seen a lot of people leave like in Discord and stuff talking about it, and I'm just like, this seems like a trick. Like, this seems like, hey, it's a food movie. Just kidding. Cameron has nightmares. So.
Yeah.
We absolutely want to give you those.
I know you don't like horror, but I don't know where you stand on like thrillery types.
Yeah. I can do thriller more so than I can do like jump scare creepy stuff. Like, I like thriller and suspense more so than like blood and gore and stuff like that. So I mean, to go to one of my classic examples is I like Silence of the Lambs, but I do not like Saw. Like, that's kind of my...
I mean, I haven't seen The Menu, but I feel like it gives off more Silence of the Lambs vibes.
It's definitely more thriller suspense, but there is also some blood and gore, but not like overwhelmingly through the whole movie.
Okay.
like you very much see those moments coming
Okay.
and can prepare yourself for them.
I do like being mentally prepared for these things.
But yeah, I think it was good. Had some interesting themes that it was digging into. Actors were all just heckin' brilliant. So good. And now, definitely horror. I started watching The Haunting of Bly Manor, um, carrying on that Mike Flanagan kick. Um, I've only watched the first episode. It's definitely going to be a scary one.
Ooh, is this new?
The Haunting of Bly Manor.
Oh no, I started watching
No.
this. JK.
Emma's like, just kidding. I've already seen it.
I have already seen it. I'm on episode 8 of 9. So clearly that says a lot of. Oh,
So
this is
close.
the one with the. Okay. This is the one with the nanny. Continue, Shanine.
Yeah. I
Okay.
read The Turn of the Screw by Henry James, which it is based on back around Halloween time. And now I'm watching it. I feel like this one is going to be closer to the book than The Haunting of Hill House was. Like that one was just like very much not telling the same story at all. This one feels similar as of the first episode, with it having like a storyteller telling the ghost story. It's just like now in the 80s instead of like the 1800s or whenever it was originally set. So yeah, it's been good so far. All the Mike Flanagan goodness, all the Mike Flanagan actor crew,
Good stuff.
and like at least 3 ghosts in the first episode.
There are actual ghosts confirmed. This is going to be like a bait and switch.
It's not
Well-
a false advertising. There are
Yeah.
actually.
Is this Scooby Doo? Like, is it the?
I mean, it depends on how you read the novel, I guess, and how Mike Flanagan chooses to tell the story now. But and I've also been playing my Christmas video game, Crisis Core.
What have you been thinking?
Yay.
Okay, so I've never played any Final Fantasy before. This is my first Final Fantasy video game, and I love it. I was so scared. I thought it was going to be too hard for me. But so far it's not. It's so good.
How far are
But
you
it's-
into it?
Like partway through chapter 3.
Okay.
So not very.
How do you like Zach?
Oh, I love Zach. So, a funny story is that I have actually watched all of the cutscenes of Crisis Core. So I know the story. But it's really fun getting to now play it, and like you do still get like more context and things like playing it instead of just watching the cutscenes. Yeah. Zach is great. My one true love is Sephiroth, though, so it's very exciting every time he comes on screen. And the first time One Winged Angel started playing, I was like,
Let's go.
Yeah, it's been fun.
I'm excited to hear you talk about it, especially with it being both a Final Fantasy game that I've never played, but then also being your first Final Fantasy game. I'm very excited to hear your like post-game thoughts once you get through it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been a bit of a learning curve. My one complaint so far is like the menus seem like not at all intuitive. Like, why aren't these easier? to figure out. But that's it. And I think
Kind
I
of how I
figured it
felt
out
with
now.
the Assassin's Creed menus at first.
Oh, yes, Emma. Oh, my
Just, why are these set up this way? Why?
Emma, what have you been up to?
Good question. A lot of things, not a lot of things. In between. I started and finished the game Hades at the recommendation of a friend of mine who absolutely loves the game. And it's the first time I have ever enjoyed a rogue-like game,
Oh, nice.
which is, it takes a lot for me to enjoy those kinds of games, and this one did it because it's like gives you the right amount of like feeling endless while also feeling accomplished, which is great. That's what I like. Really enjoyed it. Excited for Hades 2 to come out. And then the same friend actually gave me sourdough starter for Christmas. So I have been hanging out with that, feeding it, making bread. I just made bread today. And that's super exciting because it means I can make homemade bread now.
I feel like the sourdough starter thing is super weird.
It's weird, but like if you're that kind of person, it's great.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, like, not in terms of like the making the bread, but just the fact that there is like the starter and then like you use that to make bread and then you just kind of keep it going. Like, that's just like super weird to me.
it's weird, but you know, it makes good bread.
It makes good bread. You do what you got to do.
Makes good bread.
But
so I can't complain in that regard, and my first loaf was successful. And I've been watching Extraordinary Attorney Woo. I've been loving that show on Netflix. It's super sweet, and I love that she loves whales, because I love whales. And it's great to see like mainstream media coming out of other countries that's getting like full representation or like full attention from American media. So that's been great. And of course Christmas and New Year's, the holidays, hung out with friends who I hadn't seen in a long time, and family, and my sister's baby is due in a month. Yay!
nice. And then I think from what you posted in Discord, you accidentally played Warhammer, right?
Accidentally, yes. So I was hanging out with a friend from my hometown, and we were going to a game store for me to pick out a mini to paint, which I have sitting on my desk right here still, and it's whatever. And then he was like, surprise, I got you, I painted you minis, now we're going to play. And then we played. And it was quite fun. I won on a technicality.
Hey, a win's a win. Technically correct is the best kind of correct.
So I took it. And that was a lot of fun.
Nice.
So I now have my mini sitting on my little shelf over there with my D&D mini.
So for me, we traveled for Christmas, went up to New York, went to visit my cousin and her boyfriend in upstate, and then spent a couple days in New York City. Aside from it being crazy in New York City at Christmas time, surprise. We had a lot of fun walking around, ate a lot. We went and saw Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, and then saw Moulin Rouge. Both were fantastic. Really enjoyed the shows. Got some new pins. I need to post pictures of them. They're still just like sitting on our table. But we picked up some new pins, some magnets, some cool merch from the shows. And so really enjoyed both of those. We almost went to my favorite New York pizza place, Sabaros.
Why didn't you?
Because we found a different pizza place. And so, like, we were legitimately walking around, and I was like, "Oh, this place looks good." Like looking in the window, and it was Sabaros. And so So we like legitimately almost ate there. But then we found like a different local, like hole in the wall place that we ate at, and it was fantastic. Over that trip and kind of just all the time, I've been playing Pokemon, enjoying catching those shinies. I might try to get into PvP soon, like not like seriously into PvP, but I might start trying to play some of that and just kind of like dip my toe in. I've never done competitive Pokemon, and so I am considering trying it. We will see. Right now, I've just been out shiny hunting and doing stuff like that, which has been a lot of fun. And then playing more God of War Ragnarok. I'm raising my hands here because Emma and I do have our spoiler cast, and so people can go and check that out. And this morning, I finally beat the post-game bosses, and
Nice.
so that's really exciting. And then I found out that I am missing one item
Oh,
from
no.
like to get the platinum. And so now I have figured out what item it is, thanks to Locksteady.
Is the matter of where it is the
Yes.
problem?
No, I just didn't find out until like part way through the stream, or like to like the very end of like streaming this morning, where it, or what item, or that I was missing an item, because I thought I would get the last item I needed from beating the bosses, and I did not. And so I just like hadn't even looked into it. And so it should be relatively quick. I just have to go to this area and pick it up. And I don't even think there's enemies there. I just haven't picked it up. And so I'm going to hopefully knock that out tomorrow and then start playing a new game as we kick off the craziness that is all of the releases in 2023 that I'm hyped about. And so, and like there's so much coming out. And then I'm also like, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth comes out. It's like, do I replay the remake? Like, do I do this again? And so I'm just kind of like, I don't know. There's a lot happening. So we'll see. I might end up replaying it on like easy or something, because I do need to play Intergrade. So, and then last night I accidentally read a whole bunch for book club. Like I sat
Accidentally on purpose.
Yeah, like I sat down to read, and while Deanna was playing some Dreamlight Valley, and I was like, oh, I'll knock out a couple chapters, and then I read like 150 pages. And so, so take that as you will about what I think about our book club book. And so, but yeah, just kind of like oopsed into it. And then we also watched Don't Worry, Darling with Florence Pugh and Harry Styles.
Henry. He is now known as Henry.
Is now Henry.
Harry renamed to Henry.
Yes. And so that was interesting. Without doing like spoilers or anything like that. I already knew a lot of the plot because I'd watched the Amanda the Jedi video on it where she talked about it. And there was definitely a couple moments that I was like, is this going to get crazy scary? And then it backed off and it was not crazy scary. And so I was happy about that. But overall, I enjoyed it.
Can be sketchy sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. There's definitely some like,
Sometimes.
yeah, I don't know if plot holes is the right word, but there are definitely some plot points that I think could have used a little different stuff. And so, yeah. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to. And so listeners, chatters, let us know what you've been up to over in chat, the comment section, or over in the Discord. And so let's jump into our topic of the show. We are chatting all about New Year's resolutions. And someone added the question of resolutions versus goals. And so let's start with that. Janine, did you add this?
I did.
Okay. What's your thinking?
My thinking is resolutions are garbage. Um, I
Fair.
don't know. They're just like, it's practically a meme at this point. Like, resolutions are not real. Nobody cares about them. They sound good for January 1st, and then you never talk about them ever again.
You set a goal instead.
Yeah. No, I like goals better because it's like something you can be working towards instead of like a resolution where like I resolve that I have to do this thing, whereas goals are just like you're working towards something. And like even if you don't get all the way there, you still like have gotten closer to the thing that you want. I don't know.
Yeah.
They seem
Yeah.
less of a failure as just like a process.
Yeah.
'Cause
I'm
you're
there
at
with
least
you.
a few steps closer. Yeah. Absolutely.
And I feel like part of that challenge too is a lot of times, I mean, we'll use like the classic work out more resolution or get in better shape. I feel like the problem for a lot of people is like they make that resolution in January when it's cold and hard to go outside. And then it's February when it's colder and harder to go outside. And going to the gym is just blah. And so people fall off. But versus like setting a goal in, like once it starts warming up of, oh, go for more walks, go and doing more things.
April or
Yeah,
May.
I feel like the timing of it really gets a lot of people. And I feel like that's part of like my issue with New Year's resolutions. And I also feel like there's a lot of just like pressure on January 1 with them, um, where it's just like, I mean, if I set a goal at any other time of the year, there's not nearly as much pressure. No one comes to me like June 1st and is like, what are your goals? Have you made your New Year's goals yet? Like, uh, but we put so much pressure on January 1. Yeah. I'm not a huge fan. Much rather have goals.
Hard agree.
And Shadeen, I assume you added another question as well to the notes.
How are you approaching goal setting for this year?
I'm thinking of all the don't do's when it comes to goals, and that's kind of where I'm coming from. So we'll talk about that once we get into the actual like things that I've chosen. But um but yeah, I kind of am just coming at it from the approach of like what are things that I would like to see. Typically it's what would I like to see myself do more of. I have one that's a less of, but um there's definitely that kind of that take of I want to like what are the things that I'm already doing that I want to get better at or do more often.
I think sort of off of that for me, the big thing that just came to mind is getting off my phone more. So spending less time on my phone. Because if I spend less time on my phone, I am going to actually put effort into accomplishing my goals. Because I'll be bored.
Yeah, I feel like the very vague of like avoid the distraction is definitely a good like that's definitely one I could be better at too with my phone of just the like just put it in my pocket more often or like I've mentioned this before but like I used to have like
In the bag across the room.
yeah like I used to have the rule that I didn't charge my phone during the day. And so like that meant that like I obviously had to be pretty good about like my battery usage because it was like, oh, well, if my phone dies, it like I'll charge it, but then it's in the other room charging.
Yep.
And so I feel like definitely being better at being off my phone would be and being less distracted would be a positive. Let's jump into. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I saw It's like an Instagram post of a tweet, but it's from Emily Ladow on Twitter. And that it says, okay, not doing SMART goals this year. The world's a mess. Time for fun goals. Flexible. Life happens. Things change. Goals shift. Uplifting. Bettering myself isn't a punishment. Numberless. Life won't be radically different if I read 29 books this year instead of 30. And I liked that a lot. I think I've tried to do SMART goals in the past. I don't remember what most of the letters stand for. I'm pretty sure M is measurable.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember any of the others.
I'll Google.
Yeah, I'm already Googling. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound.
Yeah.
That's kind of cheating. If the last one is time bound, like that's 2 letters.
What is the time frame for accomplishing a goal? Yeah.
Yeah. Which, like, it does sound good and makes sense for, like, attaining goals if you're, like, I don't know, wanting to be a big go-getter.
Yeah,
It's
or
good
maybe
to, like,
there are like
keep
some
track
people
of
who
those
that works
things.
better for.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I really liked the idea of fun goals because I think that was kind of more what I was going for this year, even before I saw that tweet. Just, yeah, having goals that are fun and like being okay with them changing.
It's not for you to eat, cat.
Okay. But yeah, let's get into some of the resolutions / goals that we have. Chat, obviously, don't hold us to this. We're gonna do our best. What Shanine said, we're gonna have fun, and that's kind of the goal, more so even than the specifics. So, yeah, Shanine, why don't you start us off?
All right. So, one of my goals for this year is to read more diversely. That's in terms of like genre as well as authors. Just wanting to get a whole range of experience and viewpoints and just a whole range in what I read. I would also like to completely finish the first draft of my work in progress that I was working on for Nano and hopefully get a first round of edits done on it as well.
Is that like get an editor or like have somebody edit it for you, or is that do your own edits?
Like my own edits.
Okay.
Just myself editing. Yeah, nobody's allowed to read it for a while still. And I don't know, like with it being fun goals, I think kind of a big overarching goal for me this year is just to be creating a life that I enjoy. And so over the Christmas holidays, guys, I finally realized that I love video games.
Yes. It's only been 100 episodes of you on this show. We finally got you.
Like, I don't know.
The long con.
I have enjoyed certain video games, but I've never been like, man, I love playing video games. I just like, oh, I really love Animal Crossing or I really love Spiritfarer. And now I'm like, I love video games and I just want to play video games all the time. Yes. I played video games for like 4 days straight over the Christmas holiday and it was amazing.
I'm so proud.
So I want to be playing more video games this year, and also playing more tabletop RPGs. Um, I want to try a bunch more systems, and I just want to be able to play more with people.
I love it.
Yep.
By the way, I forgot what they're called, but you played a couple of like one-person tabletop games, and I
Yeah.
would love to try those out. So if you could send me what they're called sometime.
Oh, yes. I can hook you up with all the solo RPGs.
Yes, I would love that.
Know what else can hook you up with a solo RPG? Our YouTube channel. Here I am raising my hands again.
Hey,
Shanine, what was the name of that one that we played?
That one that we played was the Portal at Hill House, the Portal on Hill House, Portal something Hill House. I know it.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun. Also, if you want to see like Shanine completely creep me out, like it 100% happens, and I like get visible shivers at one point during that. Yeah, the Portal at Hill House. There we go.
yeah.
Yeah, like I 100% get creeped out. A+ job, Shanine. Like creeping me out on that. So
Heck yeah.
Success.
Emma, what are you thinking for goals this year?
Let's see. This year, I want to do more editing outside of school, just in the sense of like not necessarily like paid projects, but like, and by editing I mean like video editing, not writing editing, because there's a difference. Just to like, because it's not only what I'm interested in career-wise, but I also find it fun to just like build up some of those skills and get more comfortable with it, and just have fun with that because it's something that I enjoy doing. I mean, I wrote down be more social, but what I mean by that is like actually like building my current friendships up more and like interacting with the people here who I've met more and just building those relationships up and enjoying those people. It kind of goes along with getting off my phone, like be more face to face with people while I'm hanging out with them, and then actually make a dent in my to be read book stack, which is a big stack. Like obviously I've been reading more in the past year and a half, 2 years, courtesy of book club, but like to actually extend that to like books I've gotten for myself as well, sort of outside of book club, to like, because they're all books that I enjoy, like Sherlock Holmes and 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, but I have like 4 or 5 different books that I'm in the middle of and haven't actually finished. So like even just like finishing those books would sort of fall under the goal of making a dent in my to be read stack. Because obviously I got them for a reason. They sounded fun and interesting. Now it's just a matter of finishing them. So my last bullet point is which means that's pretty much it. I haven't put a whole lot of thought into New Year's goals or resolutions because I've been so preoccupied with getting my car fixed post-accident. I'm still without a car. So, you know, it's been mostly just making sure I am good. Easy peasy year. Oh, and graduate. That's the other thing.
That's a good goal.
The other goal is to graduate in December. So, you know, gotta have that one on there.
So for
Cameron,
me,
what about you?
let the record show, Shanine had play video games, and my first goal was read more books, specifically not for book club. And so I really enjoyed book club. I talk about that a lot. It's been great being a part of it and having an excuse to read. And I really want to kind of use that some this year to actually read more books that are not for a book club. And so whether that is like specifically sequels to books that we've read, whether that is like tackling other series, a part of this as well kind of ties in with stuff that we've talked about in like our podcast host chat over on Discord of like, I don't want Janine to be the one that's always out here picking the books for book club. But I need to be reading more, paying more attention to books to actually be able to provide opinions about what we should read. And so those kind of go hand in hand there. And so whether it's tying into movie releases or stuff like that, like we could do the second half of Dune this year and just reread that. And so,
called out.
yeah. And so, as we try to just think of what we're doing, and like I said, I just want to be like reading more. It's definitely something that, I've kind of gone through phases of enjoying throughout my life. And I kind of want to just spend more time actually reading. That being said, there's also like 20 video games that come out this year that I'm excited about. So like, who knows? And so, but I think I just need to be like proactive in the sense of I need to order some books, and then the weeks or the months that we have a chill book club book, have a different book that I can read. So like when we do our ones like Black Panther, A Nation Under Our Feet, where it's like, or Snow Glass Apples. Yeah. It's like on those months, like get another book to just read. And if I finish it, I finish it. If I don't, I don't. But like, I think I just need to be more active doing that. My next one is I want to be more active in Twitch chats, for our friends, for other channels, like hanging out. Like I tend to, like not necessarily like watch Twitch a lot in the evenings, but, I tend to like put it on if I like happen to be free, but I kind of want to just be more intentional about like showing support to our friends, and hanging out in those chats with people. 'Cause I mean, obviously we all appreciate it when people like Chunk the Hut, hang out with us. And so, but that's something that I just want to be a bit better at, especially for some of like our small streamer friends, that don't necessarily have even like 30, 40 people hanging out in chat, but people that have 5 or 6, like be there and just be kind of engaged in chat, ask questions, like hang out, that kind of stuff. So my first 2 goals are not remotely measurable, to go back to the SMART goals thing. And my next goal also involves not me. So y'all are in on this goal with me. Right. And I'm saying this because we have talked about it in our podcast host chat. But in terms of like a podcast goal, I would like us to do more game nights on stream. This is something that we've talked about for a long time. We've done here and there. And so whether it needs to be like a specific Monday every month is going to be game night, or whether it's going to be something else where we just kind of come in and out. But like, as we've kind of transitioned the format of the show, and we're no longer trying to be the, like, what happened this week, I think we can kind of like, it makes much more sense to kind of lean into having a regular game night, play games with listeners, play like we've done like, Fall Guys, we've done Phasmophobia, we did Jackbox, like stuff like that, and just like have more silly game nights with people.
Those are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I enjoy those.
Yeah. Especially like on the weeks that like people like have something stressful going on, like instead of like chatting, like let's just play a game, like that kind of thing. I think that that's something that like would be a good possibility. My next one is to be more intentional about keeping up with what I've done. So this is something I started doing end of 2022, and I want to kind of carry forward. But I went through and I like made a list of every game that I played in 2022. And I kind of want to just have like a better like grasp of that, kind of inspired by Shanine's like your top like list that you put out every year. I kind of want to be able to do something like that where I can actually like look back more, and it's not just like me checking all of the show notes to see what did I say I played, or what did I say that I've been up to. And so I want to be a bit more intentional about that and actually do something with, hey, it's the end of the year. Here is what I was up to. And then my last one is I want to get better at articulating informed opinions, but not yucking people's yum.
I love the way you phrase that.
I just feel like it's so hard to have an like articulate an opinion and not come off as like rough around the edges or gruff or like you're shooting down other people, especially if it's something that you didn't specifically like. And I just want to be better at like, it's like, this wasn't for me, but I'm glad you enjoyed it at like a minimum. And then kind of at like a maximum, like finding something that like, that's like, oh, well, here's part of this thing that I did enjoy, even if the whole thing wasn't for me. And so that's definitely my other one. And that's something that I'm sure will come and go as things happen. But like, that's definitely something that I want to strive to get better at. So should we return to this at the end of the year? Chat through how we did on our goals.
Come back to it as a reference point.
Yeah. Should I like? I guess I could like we could put a pin in this and bring it up in our 2023 top 5, and see like chat through the goals and see how many video
calendar for the end of this year to
yeah.
go back in this from the beginning of the year.
Yeah. It's like, did Shanine put a video game on her top 5? Did I have a non-book club book on my top 5? Obviously, we're not going to do it that specifically, but I do think it'd be interesting to come and take a look back at what all we said we wanted to try to do for this year in a fun way, not in a did you do it way. But I guess with that, we are going to wrap up episode 226. If you're in Twitch chat, don't go anywhere. We will be right back with our spoiler cast on the Glass Onion. If you're watching on YouTube, go check out that other video. And so a quick announcement before we get to that. January 26th is going to be our next book club on Vicious by V.E. Schwab. Is that okay? And so
I'm just taking wild guesses here and there.
I just kind of assume Shanine knows. And so if you would like to read with us for book club, get reading. It's a longer book, but it's a quick read. Yeah. Like in terms of like page count and stuff. But I was a little like surprised when it came in, and I was like, oh, okay.
Very curious book.
Yeah.
But in a good way.
Yeah, in a good way. Yeah. But yeah, with that, you can find us on our social media as OneGeek411. Join our Discord server. Shoot us an email at 1stgeek411@gmail.com. You can also check out our Redbubble store. Watch live Monday nights on Twitch. And then find the videos over on our YouTube where you can like, comment, and subscribe. And then you can also find us on our personal social media. Mine is Humar Whittle.
Mine is I am not prepared with an I.
Hoot and Howl on Twitter and Hoot and Howl Tales, TALES on Instagram.
And it's been a great week.
Read a book.